والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله
السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
How is everybody?
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, all fine.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. So
How are
today
you?
is actually Alhamdulillah, not bad. Alhamdulillah. I'm kind of happy and at the same time a bit sad that this Tajweed, this experience is coming to an end. But we try to keep, this link, this connection alive, inshallah. So that if you want in the future, if we have a kind of extra sessions or there's anything else I have in mind that I didn't share, maybe Brother Yusuf and Sister Zarina can try to arrange something, inshallah. So
Most welcome. Anytime.
Inshallah.
By your order.
Thank you, brother. Jazakallah khair. Okay, so today, in fact, if we were to continue the lesson, it will never end because although the rules of Tajweed are finite, they are not infinite. It's like, okay, it's not really a good comparison, but it's like chess. Chess, you have finite rules, each piece will move a certain way, but the combinations in chess are infinite. And Tajweed, in the sense of learning, we always learn. It doesn't mean that because the class is coming to an end, that there is nothing left to learn, because I always can think of something new to teach. Although you can say that these are more peripheral areas of Tajweed, but still there's always something to learn in Tajweed. So in the past, I didn't know as much as I know now. Alhamdulillah, I know more now, but I'm always puzzled or interested by people who say, I know everything about Tajweed, because I think you will never be able to know everything, because even if you know, you need some review anyways. You always need some review. All right, with that in mind, with that said, let's start with our calligraphy of the week. And I'm going to show you, this one is a bit complicated, to be honest. So let's have a look.
Oh
This
my
is
goodness.
black belt. So
No way.
I think even if you're good at reading these, it will still take you a while to read it.
I see Allah.
Okay, good. That's the second word of the ayah. It's a whole ayah from beginning to end. So it's kind of a enclosed ayah. So it's not a snippet of an ayah, but it's the whole ayah. No, sorry. So I give you a hint. It starts with fa. Fa. And then the second one is Allah. Brother Sultan, can you say it again? So where is Allah then?
Yeah, yes, no Allah there.
Okay. Let's have more. Okay, let's make it easy.
No,
The first word is fata'ala.
Oh, fata'ala rabbuka rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun.
The first is good. The second is not rabbuka, but Allah.
Barakallahu ahsanul khaliqin.
All right, enough. We should stop guessing.
Good guessing.
فتعالى الله
Thank you,
الملك
brother.
الحق. فتعالى الله الملك الحق. لا إله إلا هو رب العرش الكريم. Okay, so you see from last week, I think it was last week, yes, we learned the meaning of this little symbol, or either last week or 2 weeks ago. I think probably 2 weeks ago. We said that this symbol here means that it's okay to continue, but it's better to stop. Oh, sorry. It's better to, it's better to continue, but it's okay to stop. That's what it means. Yeah, you remember?
Yes.
This sila means connect. It's better to link it. But if you want to stop, that's fine. So the best way to read it is without stopping. Okay, so فَتَعَالَى اللَّهُ الْمَلِكُ الْحَقُّ. I should actually do الاستعاذة. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. فَتَعَالَى اللَّهُ الْمَلِكُ الْحَقُّ لا إله إلا هو رب العرش الكريم. The translation of this ayah is so exalted is Allah. Fa is so it's like a consequence. Fa. فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا تُكَذِّبَانِ. So, right? Al-Malik al-Haq, the exalted, Allah is exalted is Allah, the sovereign, the truth. Al-Haq is the truth, the sovereign is Al-Malik. There is no deity except him. La ilaha illa huwa. Rabbul Arsh al-Kareem, Lord of the noble throne. Al-Arsh is the throne and noble is Al-Kareem. So yeah, I mean, that was difficult, right? Now, today's lesson, inshallah, is going to be about rules of Hamza. And it will be a bit easy for you because we have done this before. We have done a bit of this before, but it's nice if we can revisit it and connect it to another concept which will come later, which is al-huruf al-shamsiyya wa al-huruf al-qamariyya, the sun and the moon letters, because I promised I would teach you that. So first of all, let's go and look at what we have today. In Arabic and in the Quran, there are two types of Hamza. Okay, there are two types of Hamza. 1, 2, no more than that. And they are both read and treated differently. First type is called, as you can see in this chart, you have Hamza. Type 1 on the right is called Hamzatul Qata'. Hamzatul Qata'. Okay, and the left one, or the bottom left, is called Hamzatul Wasl. Hamzatul Wasl. Okay. I think a few weeks ago I made a slight typo or mistake. I said that in Arabic we have waqf and wasl. And I said there is also Hamzat Wasl and Hamzat Waqf. It's not Hamzat Waqf, but Hamzat Qata'. Okay, it's just a synonym of waqf, meaning stop or to cut. Stop or cut. So one Hamza is called Hamzatul Qata', stopping or cutting Hamza. And the other Hamza is called Hamzatul Wasl, the connecting Hamza. All right. So let's have a look at what the difference boils down to. Well, starting with the first one that is, I would say, a bit more complicated. So that's why I put it first. We focus on it first. Hamzatul Wasl. Now what you see on your screen is Hamzat Wasl or Hamza Wasl. And you see an alif. And on top of the alif, you see a shape that looks a bit like a sad. Okay. So this is a very, very frequent Hamza in Arabic, and in Quran specifically, you will see it a lot. It will come at the beginning of words. So at every beginning of word, you will see it. It will never be found in the middle of the word. Okay. So where to find it? It's always at the beginning of the word. So you can't miss it, right? So every time you read, look at the word boundaries, and at the beginning of the word, you will find it. For instance, I just opened my Quran, and I opened and I found the chapter was Surah Sad, okay, chapter 38. And it says, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم صاد والقرآن ذي الذكر. Okay, والقرآن. So the Hamza of Wasl, والقرآن, والقرآن. So it's always in the beginning of the word. Now, what is also unique about this Hamza? It occurs without any haraka on it. So you will not find it muharraka or mashkula. We call it mashkula. There's no tashkil on it. So we don't find fatha, dhamma, kasra on top of it, right? It's usually haraka free. So because Why is it haraka free? This is a little bit of getting a bit further forward in the lesson, because it will be influenced by what's coming before it and what's coming after it. So this hamza is a colorful hamza because it is affected by its immediate environment. So that's why it doesn't commit to haraka. You will not find the haraka on top of it or under it, okay? And third, and it can be pronounced or skipped. It can be pronounced or skipped. When is it pronounced? When is it skipped? It is pronounced when you start the word, and it's skipped when you are connecting it to the previous word, okay? For instance, Allah, Allah. So in this word, Allah, the hamza is pronounced Allah. But if I pronounce it with the word before it, it's skipped. We say Bismillah. So I go from the meme, kasra, to the lam. Bismillah. So I skip the hamza, okay? So that's why here, this hamza doesn't have a haraka on top of it, because it depends on where you're stopping or where you're continuing. But just to remember what it's called hamzatul wasl, the connecting hamza. Now, if we pronounce it, in case we pronounce it, it means that the reader starts reading from the word starting with hamzatul wasl. Then in that situation, we will need to pronounce it. All right? If we choose to skip it, then it means that the reader, the reciter, connects the word which came before it and made wasl with the letter preceding the hamza. Okay? This letter is directly connected to the letter following hamzatul wasl, meaning the letter before hamzatul wasl. Now, let's have a look at how it looks like in the Quran. So, for instance, in Surah An-Naba, chapter 78, عَمَّ يَتَسَاءَلُونَ عَنِ النَّبَإِ الْعَظِيمِ. Okay, because I have connected this word An-Naba to the previous An, and I have chosen to continue from here to here, then this hamza becomes silent. I say Anin Naba, Anin Naba. I don't say Anil Naba or An Naba. Okay. So here, because I have continued, I didn't start with An Naba, but with the word before it, then in this situation particularly, I'm going to skip it. And the role of the hamza here is just a link to facilitate recitation. And that's exactly why we call it hamzat wasl. Wasl is link, the linking hamza. Anin naba'il azim. So there are two of them in this ayah. Let me show you. We have one here. We have a second one here. So I'm saying Anin naba. So I'm going from this letter directly to this letter here. I'm skipping a lot here. Huh? Anin naba il azim. And in this situation, I'm going from here to here, and I'm skipping this hamza again. Zero, not pronounced. So it's mostly like a link, you know, a linking hamza. It means just continue your way. Don't stop, continue your way, right? However, if I chose, which is highly unlikely, if I chose to actually start here, An-Naba'il Azim, you see what I did? I started with An-Naba. I didn't say Anin Naba. Here I have made the fatha here. An-Naba'il Azim. Okay, so because I have started with the hamza, then it's not skipped, it's read. Going back to the previous slide.
Brother.
Yes?
I want to ask you.
Go ahead.
So
while you do that, I'm going to remove this. Yeah?
In the sound that's mean if we do not read that then the second letter will start with that hamza. Am I
exactly
correct?
Exactly. If you choose to not read an and start here, then you will read an-naba. Okay? You don't say anin naba. If you connect it to the previous word, the Hamza becomes invisible or skipped. Yeah? You got it, sister?
Got it. Jazakallah, got it.
Welcome. And we will see more examples, don't worry. Okay. Now, this is the thing that we learned in the past. Hamzatul wasl will be assigned with a dhamma if the third letter of the verb carries a dhamma. So for example, we have Hamzatul wasl here, and we count 1, 2, 3. Oh, sorry. 1, 2, 3, the third letter from the beginning. So this is the third letter, right? And we look at the haraka on top of it, right? So in this case, if I start from here, then this becomes Udu Rabbakum. So here, let me read again. Hamzatul wasl will be assigned with a dhamma. Here's the dhamma. If the third letter of the verb carries a dhamma. Right, that's why I told you it's like a chameleon. It kind of is a colorful Hamza. It is affected by what's coming before and what's coming after. So I'm not going to say ad'u or id'u, but if there is a dhamma on ayn, then it becomes ud'u. Okay, so beginning the ayah starts here. Ud'u rabbakum, ud'u rabbakum. Okay, let's look at a second example. Same here. We have Hamza wasl. We're going to count first letter, second letter, third letter. And we notice we have a dhamma here. So since we have a dhamma in the third letter of the verb, then we assign dhamma in the Hamza when we read it. Uqtulu Yusuf. Uqtulu Yusuf. Chapter 12, Surah Yusuf. That's how I read it, huh? Okay, because this Hamza is not assigned. There is no haraka on it. So if I want to know which haraka to assign, I have to check the dhamma of the third letter. Let me go back to show you what it says here. Oh, sorry. Yeah, here. See, condition number 2. It occurs without any haraka on it. All right, so if I want to know the haraka, I have to check what's coming after. Huh, sister? Did you say something? No? Okay, then I thought I heard something. No problem. So let's continue. I want to ask if you can erase these marks here, because Alia, I can see it's Alia, I think. Alia, can you delete these marks from the screen? Jazakallah khair. All right, let's continue, brothers and sisters. All right, and also, if you're not asking a question, please disable your microphone because I'm hearing some sounds in the background. Okay, whoever wrote those marks on the screen on the PowerPoint, can you erase those marks, please? Mahween and Alia, for example, those red marks on the screen, can you remove them? Thank you so much. All right, now, so we said that if the third letter of the word is a dhamma, then Hamzatul wasl will start with a dhamma. If the third letter is a kasra, then the Hamzatul wasl will start with fatha or kasra. Okay, let's have a look. So this is Surah Al-Fatiha. Okay, how do I know that this is E? Well, you do the rule and you check the third letter of the word. Okay, Ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim. Since the third letter is a kasra, then Hamzatul wasl will be starting with kasra, right? Ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim. We don't say uhdina and we don't say ahdina. Okay, you know that because we've recited Al-Fatiha so much that we have become familiar with it without even knowing why we do it, right? So we should probably learn to transfer this skill from this ayah of Al-Fatiha to other ayat of the Quran. So you see the same principle applies here because this Hamza is a linking Hamza. Then what you need to do is just look at the third letter and what is the vowel in that letter. If it's a kasra, then the third letter, if it's a kasra, it will start with a kasra, okay? If it's a fatha, if the third letter is a fatha, it will also start with a kasra. So it's easy, right? It's easy, inshallah. Now look at this, another example. Fatha this time. So if it's a fatha, Hamzatul Wasl will be assigned with a kasra if the third letter of the verb is either a fatha or a kasra. So fatha and kasra will both result in a kasra in Hamzatul Wasl. Ishtaraw bi ayatillah. We don't say ashtaraw. Okay? So both fatha and kasra in the third letter will always result in a kasra in the first letter, right? Both, not just the kasra, but the fatha is also included. It also results with a kasra in the beginning. All right, so if we recap the rules, Hamzat Wasl starts with a dhamma if the third letter is a dhamma, and will start with a kasra if the third letter is either fatha or kasra, right? Ishtaraw, not ashtaraw. We don't say ashtaraw. Okay. So, all right, let me show you now an exception. Not an exception. Yeah, it is an exception. All right, it's an exception. So let me first look at my students. I want to look at the students list. Farzana, Sister Farzana, you are the first.
Yes.
In the list. So Can you recap the rules for us?
From the very beginning. So if we have Dhamma.
Yeah.
And then
where is the Dhamma? In the third?
The third letter is with Dhamma. Then we start Hamza with Dhamma.
Very good. All right.
Yeah. And if it is Kasra or Fatha, then we start it with Kasra.
Very
Fatha.
good. Kasra. Very good. So we say Ishtaraw. Very good. All right. Now the only time we start with a fatha is when we have alif lam al. That's the only time when we will start with a fatha. So for example, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Okay, so here we have a fatha. According to the rule, if we have the fatha or kasra, the first will be kasra. But in this case, I told you because it's the definite article, the. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Alhamd, the thanks. The Alhamd, alif lam is the definite article in Arabic. It's like the in English. Right? Yeah. So anytime you see al, that's the only time, in fact, you can actually start with fatha on top of the hamzatul wasl. Okay. All right. So that's the only exception where hamzat wasl will be read with a fatha on top. All right. Here the same. Ar-Rahmanir Rahim. Surah Ar-Rahman, we say Ar-Rahman. We don't say Ir-Rahman or Ur-Rahman, right? Allama al-Quran, khalaqa al-insan. So because we have alif lam, and regardless of whatever comes after in the third letter, we will always read it with al. Okay. All right. Now, let's do some practice, inshallah, to just see if we have assimilated or digested. Yeah?
Can we go back a slide?
Sure. Let me go back.
I want to ask about also if we start, for example, Ar-Rahman, right? If we do not link noon to Ra, then it's Ar-Rahim. Again, we use...
Yes. That's good. That's correct. You are correct. That's the right intuition. Very good, sister. But since there is a kasra before, it becomes I. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Good job, sister. MashaAllah. You got it. You got it. Very good.
Jazakallah.
Wa iyyakum. All right. So now let's have a look. Just practice. Let's start with Sister Farzana, since you are the first. How do we read this ayah?
اذهب إلى فرعون إنه طغى.
Very good. So we said that if the third letter is a fatha, then it is a kasra, the letter we start with, or the sound we start with is a kasra. Very good, sister. Jazakallah khair. This is the instruction given to Musa alayhi salam from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, telling him, go to Fir'aun, he has transgressed. إِنَّهُ طَغَى اذهب إلى فرعون إنه طغى. Okay, good job, Sister Farzana. Alia, are you there?
Yes.
How are you today? You're good? I hope you are.
Yes, I'm fine.
Alhamdulillah. So look at this ayah. Let's just do that same rule. Look at the third letter and then we can determine how to start the ayah. Do you know how to read it? The Hamza Wasl, the linking Hamza. How do we start it here in this ayah? You can read it if you can, if you are able to. You are saying it should be Hamza, right? This is chapter, I think it's Surah Taha. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, Taha. No? No clue? All right, I will help you then. But maybe I give a chance to someone else. Brother Anas?
Yeah, actually this is me.
Yes. Do you know?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ashdud bihi adri.
Okay, so let me tell you what we can do here. We see, we're going to start the process, inshallah. So we have a look at the third letter and we see there is Dhamma, right? So what we do is we put on the first Hamza Wasl a Dhamma. Ushdud bihi azri. Okay. So Taha is chapter is it in the Quran? After Surah Maryam, I think, chapter 20, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. And this is ayah number 31 of Taha. Yeah. All right. So I want to go to the internet and I want to try to see if we can confirm what I'm saying to you. Sorry. So let's open a page. Bismillah. And we go. Bismillah. Let's see. Quran. 20. Ayah 31. Okay. Do you see the screen?
Yes. Yes.
Ushdud bihi
Yes.
azri. Okay. Now let's see how it's read.
Ushdud bihi azri.
You got it, Brother Sultan?
Yeah,
The
yes,
first-
alhamdulillah.
The first Hamza becomes U because you started with the ayah without connecting to the previous ayah. Ushdud.
Ushdud bihi azri.
Okay, Jazakallah khair, Brother Sultan, mashallah.
Allah.
All right, let's see next. Ariba, this is the first ayah conveyed to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the cave of Hira. The first ever conveyed, transmitted ayah of the Quran. Ariba, do you know how to read it? Hi, where are you, Ariba? Or Arush? Let's go to Arush. I just want to give chance to everybody. Arush? Ariba, if you listen, you can go back later, inshallah. Arush, how are you? Are you good? Alhamdulillah. Now, how do you read this, Arush? Look. Third letter is a fatha. We said that if it's a fatha, what do? We assign a kasra. So we start with a kasra. Okay, can you read it? I'm asking you to read, so I'm asking you to, that's the word, read. Recite. Okay. Asya, I'm going to go to you. Just we had some technical difficulties here with Riba and Arush.
اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق.
Can you say it again? Sorry.
اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق.
Very good. Jazakallah khair. So here, اقرأ. اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق. Right. So because we have fatha, then we assign kasra. Very good. Jazakallah khair, Asya. Let's continue. Bonita, Sister Bonita. Assalamu alaikum.
Yes, Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
How are you, sister?
Good, alhamdulillah, how about you?
Alhamdulillah. Now look at this ayah and look at the third letter and the third vowel, third haraka. It's a kasra, right?
Kasra, yeah, so it will be kasra also, yeah.
How do you recite the ayah?
Irji'i ila rabbiki radiyatam mardiyah.
Radiyatam mardiyah.
Radiyatam mardiyah.
Ya ayyatuha an-nafs al-mutma'inna. Talking about the nafs. Go back to your Lord. Irji'i ila rabbiki radiyatan mardiyah. Very good. So good job, Sister Bonita. So this is because we have a fatha, kasra. Then we apply the rule and we start with kasra. Very good job, Sister Bonita. Jazakallah khair. All right. Now I'm going to Sister Fatima. Fatima. Ahlan wa sahlan, Fatima. Assalamu alaikum. Are you here? I see Fatima. Yeah, how are you? Sorry, did I make a mistake? Do you hear me, Fatima? I cannot hear you, so maybe you can. Yes, go ahead. Let's look at this, Fatima. We have fatha here. What do we do? How do we start?
If.
Yes. Can you read the whole ayah?
If
all of these verbs. Yes, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, you first.
All of these verbs are imperatives. It means they are asking you to do something. Iqra, read. Irji'i, return. Idhhab, go. All of these are actions asking you. It's an imperative verb. So yes, it's your turn. You can go ahead.
Which one?
This one here.
Second.
Yeah.
Okay. If illa fir'auna innahu tagha.
Very good, very good. So idhhab. In fact, this is just a repeat because we've done it before, but just make sure that you got it. So sometimes I make tricks like that. I repeat something which we've already seen before. Good job, Sister Jazakallah khair. All right. Brother Ghazali and family, how are you? Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
How are you?
Alhamdulillah.
Good to have you. Nice to hear your voices. Now let's listen to this one, or let's read this one. Read.
Iqra kitabaka kafa bi nafsika yawma alayka
Hasiba. Very good. Jazakallah khair. So this is a fatha. We apply the rule. We put a kasra in the beginning. Good job. It's the same as Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq. Very nice. MashaAllah. Good job. Alhamdulillah. Let's continue. I'm going to erase the traces of what we have. Yes. Let's see. I'm going to continue down the list with Mahveen. Mahveen, are you here? Assalamu alaikum. Let's practice with Mahveen. Mahveen Ahmed.
I'm here.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Alhamdulillah. Okay, so let's have a look. We have the third letter with the ooh. So how do we start?
Ud'u.
Very good, mashallah. Very good. Do you know the meaning of this ayah?
No, I don't know.
ادعو إلى سبيل ربك بالحكمة والموعظة الحسنة. This is the way to make da'wah or to call to Islam. Al-hikmah, with wisdom and good speech. Okay, that's where the word da'wah comes from. The word da'wah is from ud'u, call, invite. ud'u إلى سبيل ربك بالحكمة والموعظة الحسنة. جزاك الله خير. Okay, let's continue with the sister Nida. The next one. Now let's just go to the process. We go through the process slowly. We look at the third word. 1, 2, 3. And we have a big. Oh, what happened there? Sorry.
Okay.
Sometimes my mouse plays tricks on me. Sorry about that. Yes. Go ahead, sister. Sorry.
Okay. So be ittakhadhu ahbaruhum wa
ruhbanahum.
Yeah. Ruhbanahum arbabam min dunillah.
من دون الله من دون الله إخفاء من دون الله
من dunillah.
Very good. Jazakallah khair, sister. Okay, good job. Thank you, sister Nida. All right, let's continue. All right, let's see who else wants to participate. We have Awais. Awais, are you here? Yes, go ahead. Udkhulu.
ادخلوا الجنة أنتم وأزواجكم تحبرون.
Very good, mashallah. So here in this situation, the second word has Hamzat Wasl, and I'm connecting it. Sorry, I'm connecting it. Oh, what happened? I'm connecting it, so I'm skipping this one. This is 0. It's not red. ادخلوا الجنة أنتم وأزواجكم تحبرون. Very good. Jazakallah khair, Awais. Very well done. Okay, let's continue because we want to practice as much as possible, inshallah. Let's see, Sakura, sister Sakura or brother Sakura, maybe, I don't know. Sakura, I know Sakura is a tree. It's a Japanese tree, right? Sakura Shauran. Are you there? SS? If you want, you can read. We can help you. Or I let you rest and then I go to Sister Sally. Sally.
Yes.
Assalamu alaikum, sister.
Assalamu alaikum, teacher. Assalamu alaikum.
How are you?
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. All right, let's have a look. Are you tired?
Yeah, let me try again.
Oh, let's try.
Okay.
Let's try. So 1, 2, 3. Third lesson.
تتبعوا من لا يسألوكم أجرا وهم مهتدون.
Okay, mashallah. Sister, can I guess your nationality? Are you Indonesian?
No, I'm Chinese.
Okay, because you know I've taught a lot of students in the past, and each nationality has their own sounds that they slightly mispronounce. So this one here, s, is not shin, huh? Okay.
Yes, alukum.
Very good. Yes, alukum.
Yes, alukum. Okay.
All right. So my brothers
Thank
and
you.
sisters, you know, I always say, if I say something, please, I apologize. I don't want to offend anyone, but it's just my familiarity with brothers and sisters. Then I can target the learning difficulty and I'll tell you which one you need to work on. Okay? But sister, you did it very well, alhamdulillah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. اتبعوا من لا يسألكم أجرا وهم مهتدون. Okay, mashallah. Jazakallah khair, Sister Sally. Okay, in the past I had, when I was in Hong Kong, most of my students were from either Indonesia or Philippines, the sisters, mashallah. And I remember being so familiar with the mistakes that I know what mistakes they will do in advance because of our first languages. Our native languages, when we learn our first language, it occupies like a blueprint in our brain. So if there are certain sounds that we that are not in our inventory, our sound system of the first language, usually we may substitute certain sounds instead, or we have difficulties with certain sounds. Okay. All right, let me just stop digressing there. Let's continue. Undur. Oh, I give you the answer. I give you the answer this time. All right, so this one I will read it. So we have the third letter, third sound of vowel is u. Vu. So I would say undur kayfa faddalna ba'dahum ala ba'd. وَلَلْآخِرَةُ أَكْبَرُ دَرَجَاتٍ وَأَكْبَرُ تَفْضِيلًا. Tafdila. Okay, you can take a break here in the middle. Jim is very nice to take a break if you want. You don't have to. And the third sound or the third vowel is u. So we start with undur. Undur. Look. Undur. Look how. Okay. Undur is look. All of these are verbs, if you notice. All right. The second.
Brother.
Yes, brother. Go ahead.
Because actually, is all these kind of words are called a fa'al amr?
Yes, exactly. Fa'al amr. Amr is imperative, and fa'al is verb.
Enter or go or
listen or see or hear or read. Or, yes, exactly. All of these are verbs.
Oh, fa'al amr, right?
Fa'al amr, yes. Al amr is the imperative form, and fa'al is verb. Imperative verbs.
Like hukum.
Uhkum.
Oh, hukum.
Right. Judge by. Yeah. Right. Very good, brother. Mashallah. You have some knowledge of Arabic grammar. Alhamdulillah. Now, our second category of Hamza is not Hamzatul Wasl, or the connecting or linking Hamza. This we call Hamzatul Qata. Iqta. Qata means cut, split, divide. Okay. So it means that whenever we have the Hamza starting, we are cutting with the previous words. We are not going to link them with whatever comes previously, right? So that's, in a way, this is a bit easier. Now, just a quick recap. In Arabic, the letter Hamza has different forms, and it has different, what I call personally, seats. You know, a chair you sit on. However, regardless of the seat, it's still a Hamza. It's still pronounced the same. So you see Arabic has it on the top, at the bottom, on the ya, on the wa, or on the line. As-sama, that one is on the line, right? It doesn't have a seat. The seat is the line of your notebook, for instance. So regardless of the seat of the Hamza, they usually pronounce the same. In Arabic, this sound is a sudden stop. Iqra. So it's a sudden stop. In technical terms, phonetically, this is called a glottal stop. The glottis is here, and you stop the glottis sound. This sound doesn't exist in English as a separate consonant, but in Arabic, it's a separate consonant, right? Hamza. So continuing with Hamza, which is our second type of Hamza, Hamzatul Qata. Note that the Alif and Hamza are two different letters. So when we learn the Arabic alphabet, we learn Alif, Ba, Ta, Tha, Jim, Ha, Kha. But sometimes the alif doesn't have hamza on top because hamza is a separate letter. Okay, it's usually when we learn it, it's free from hamza. It's alif without hamza on top, right? When we learn the Arabic alphabet, we write alif without hamza on top. But if we have a hamza on top, it becomes hamza qata, the one we are learning right now, the second type of hamza. Now, what are the characteristics of this hamza compared to the previous one? When pronouncing a hamza that carries a sukoon, you should be careful that it's pronounced correctly, because if you don't, you will make that hamza into a different word or different sound. You will change the hamza into a waw or into a ya or into an alif if you are not careful about pronouncing it well. So if certain words are not pronounced well, then you will change the hamza into a different sound. For example, if you have this word, you see the word is fa with alif and hamza on top, and then followed by ta, waw, and alif. If you don't pronounce the hamza well, you, instead of saying fa to, you will say fa to. So you change the hamza into an alif, which is wrong when you recite the Quran. You don't say fa to shurakaikum, fa to. Okay, you see the difference? Correct is fa'tu and incorrect is fa'tu. The second one is wrong. Or you will transform it into a ya. Instead of saying shi'tum, you say shi'tum, 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 shi'tum. Remember, hamza qata is a hamza that splits, that creates a splitting moment. There is splitting moment. Shi'tum, shi'tum. That's why we call it the splitting hamza, not the linking hamza. There is a sudden split in sound. Shi'tum. And the split happens in the glottis here. Shi'tum. Okay, next, here, if you're not careful enough, you will pronounce this as musadah. Alayhim narun musadah. Musadah, not musadah. Okay. Musadah, not musadah. Okay. Second rule of hamzatul qata. Imagine there are two hamzas falling one after the other successively. When two hamzas are successive, make sure you pronounce them distinctly. Don't merge them. Don't connect them together. For instance, anta, anta. We don't say anta. Anta means you. But anta means, is it you? So this is the interrogative form. It's not you, it's anta. This is called hamzat al-istifham, to ask a question. Anta, is it you? Right, is it you? I think this happens in the Quran when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks Nabi Isa alayhi salam, did you say that you are the one that you are God? Anta, are you the one who are you? Did you tell them that you are God? So Allah is questioning Jesus alayhi salam, Isa ibn Maryam. So the first hamza is a questioning hamza. Anta. The second word is anta, you. Okay. So if these two hamza occur side by side, then you have to pronounce them both. Don't just pronounce one, or don't merge them together. You need to say anta, anta. Okay. Here's another example. Antum. Is it you, plural? Antum, antum. And I'm doing the noon ikhfa. Antum, because noon is sakina here. It needs to be hidden. Antum. Okay. Now, did you understand this?
Yes.
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 Okay.
Yes.
Third characteristic of hamzatul qatta, the splitting or dividing hamza, not the linking hamza, is when the letter hamza and ayn appear together, if we are not native speakers of Arabic, we tend to soften the ayn. We don't pronounce the ayn very strongly. So we have to, because the ayn in English doesn't exist, right? Usually, if you write Arabic, al-Arabiya in English, it starts with letter A. It starts with a vowel, Arabic language. But in Arabic, the word is Arabiya. Arabiya, and ayn is not a vowel a, but it's a consonant a. So many people tend to soften the quality of ayn because they think it's a vowel. So for the country Iraq, many English speakers will say Iraq, but this doesn't really give value to the consonant ayn because it's made into a vowel. It should be a strong Iraq. It's not Iraq. So if you have a hamza followed by ayn, we don't say a'udhu, a'udhu. We say a'udhu. Right? We have to make sure the ayn is not made soft or made into a vowel, a'udhu. So some people, what they will do, not you, brothers and sisters, but they will consider this not to exist. They will only pronounce the A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. You need to think that the ayn in Arabic is a strong consonant. It's not a vowel. All right? A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Okay. If you go to the Middle East, and if you learn Arabic and you start speaking to Arabs, or if you go to North Africa, where I'm from, you'll notice the ayn is really strong. This ayn, they speak with a strong ayn there. It's a consonant, like you would say p or b, right? Yeah. So a'udhu. The same. We don't say a'malakum, a'malahum, 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 not amalahum. Okay. Don't disregard the quality of the ayn that follows a hamza. All right, don't skip over this ayn and go directly to the meme. Okay. A'malahum, a'malahum. Does Urdu have ayn?
Yeah.
Urdu, it has?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so that's not going to be a problem for Urdu speakers. Because the ayn is present.
But it's not pronounced strongly as it is in Arabic.
Okay, maybe there are loan words from Arabic into Urdu that have this word in it, right? Maybe.
Almost the alphabets are almost the same as Arabic.
All.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a word in Urdu that has ayn when you pronounce it? Which is not Arabic.
But it's soft.
It's soft, yeah. Maybe it's different sound, not exactly, but it doesn't matter. The fact that you have it still helps you to accentuate the sound. A'malahum, not amalahum. Okay. Beginning speakers or learners of Arabic, early beginners, they will say amalahum, or they will say assalamu alaikum. They don't say assalamu alaikum, right? They consider that alaikum of assalamu alaikum, that is a vowel. Okay. The first assalamu is a hamza. Assalamu. The second is not a hamza. It's not alaikum. It's alaikum. It's a consonant. All right. So yeah, that's just the third characteristic of this hamza. When the letter hamza appears followed by ayn, ensure that both are differentiated clearly. Okay. All right. I didn't finish, sorry. I just needed to remove the ink. Let's continue, inshallah. Shay'in alimin. Shay'in alimin. And this one will take us back to some of the things we've learned in the past. This is idhar halqi. So we have tanween. So this sound is like a noon, and followed by one of the 6 letters of idhar halqi. So we make idhar. Shay'in alimin, shay'in alimin. We don't make idgham, right? All right. Now let's talk about this, because I promised you that I will teach you, and it's related to the rules of Hamza. In Arabic, we have 28 letters in the alphabet. And these 28 letters, they fall into two categories. Some of them are called the letters, the moon letters, and some are called the sun letters. Well, that's just a way to remember. Now, if we have that famous alif lam of the definite article in Arabic, if it's followed by a sun letter, that lam of the alif lam will melt. So think of the effect of the sun. What does the sun do to things? It will heat them or it will melt them, right? So the influence of the sun letter on the lam is that it will melt the lam. So we don't say al-shams. The sun is too hot for this lam, right? So it will melt the lam and we will pronounce it as ash-shams. So the sheen of ash-shams is a sun letter, and it has the effect of melting the L. So let me show you. I'll just write it for you so that it's easier. So L, the, plus, Shams, okay, this is sheen, right? Sheen. Now, when we read this word together, the sheen is considered to be a sun letter, sun letter. All right. And the sun letter has the effect of assimilating or making this lam silent, 0. Okay. So what we do is we start with Hamzat Wasl, and we're not going to pronounce the lam, and we go directly to the sheen. We say ash-shams. We don't say al-shams. Okay, you got it? So one category of letters is sun letters. The sun letters have the effect of silencing the lam. Ash-shams, as-sabah, at-teen, at-teen. Don't say al-teen, right? At-teen. So all these letters, they silence the lam. All right. However, if the letter is one of the moon letters, I'm going to show you the all the letters later on, don't worry. Then we have to make it obvious, the lam, because the moon, let's say the moon is cold, right? And if you go there, you'll feel a bit cold, right? So in fact, it will freeze the lam. It's not going to move. The lam is going to stay there and will be pronounced. It will be frozen there. It won't disappear because the effect of the moon letter. So al-qamar, for instance, is the moon. Al plus qamar. Al-qamar. So this qaf is a moon letter. Then because of the letter, we are going to make this sound obvious. Al-qamar, al-qamar. So you see this letter hasn't been melted. It's still there. It's been frozen. So we must pronounce it. So contrary to ash-shams letters that delete the lam, al-qamar letters will keep the sound obvious. Okay. So some examples of sun and moon letters are written here for your convenience. So let's go together. Al-qamar. You can read after me. Very good. Al-kitab. ذلك الكتاب. Al-kitab. Al-madrasa.
Al-madrasa.
Al-ustadh.
Al-ustadh.
And then we continue. Al-muhami.
Al-muhami.
Very good. So all of these are qaf, kaf, mim, sin, mim. All of these are moon letters. Now, this category is the sun letters. The sun will melt the lamb. So all of these lambs that you can see in blue, they have disappeared. We say ash-shams.
Ash-shams.
So zero, no pronunciation. At-talib. Whoops. Whoops. My God, where everything is. So let me see that again. At-talib.
At-talib.
Ash-shajara.
Ash-shajara.
Very good. Ar-rihla.
Ar-rihla.
As-sama.
As-sama.
Al-la'ib.
Allah-ib.
All right, so all of these are sun letters. Sheen, Ta, Sheen, Ra, Sin, Lam. Okay, they will melt the lamb. Okay. Now, if you want to have a visual, yes, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. So we have to look at the letters after al.
Exactly.
Okay.
But this comes with practice, in fact, because you will be familiar. You know which letters don't really do that and which letters do it. This is basic, in fact. So in Arabic, here are the letters that are sun letters, and here are the letters which are moon letters. I want to delete or erase the notes. Yeah, so you see, the sun letters are as follows, and tip, these letters will carry a shadda. So we say ash-shams. There's a shadda on the sheen. We don't say ash-shams. We say ash-shams. So here is an added hint for you. So when you read the Quran, you know which letter needs to delete the lam. The letter that has shadda on it is a sun letter. The letter that doesn't have a shadda on it is a moon letter. Easy, right? Easy to remember. So if you see L, followed by a letter that has shadda, you can say 100% this letter that has shadda is a sun letter. Okay? That's the easiest way to remember or to know which one is a sun letter, which one is a moon letter. If you see a sequence alif lam followed by another letter, if you see a shadda on top of that letter, it means 100% this is a sun letter. It's not a moon letter. Hence, I will merge it with, or I will make the lam disappear when I recite it. Okay? Now, an example from the Quran is Surah Shams. The easiest way to remember is Surah Shams. All right, let's see. So you see this? You see the shadda here on the sheen? So the sheen has a shadda, and because it has a shadda, then I know this is a sun letter. Well, it's easy because the shams means sun, so it's easy to go to guess. Second word, does it have a shadda? Does the qaf have a shadda on it?
No.
No, huh? So it's not a sun letter, it's a moon letter. All right. Now listen to how they are recited.
والشمس وضحاها
والشمس وضحاها. All right. So the lam of Ash-Shams was removed. He didn't say وَالشَّمْسِ وَضُحَاهَا. Okay. Next.
والقمر إذا تلاها.
So what happens to the lam here?
It's
pronounced? Yes. Another hint to know whether this lam is pronounced or not, it will have sukoon on top of it. May make it bigger. So you see here, lam has sukoon here. Lam here doesn't have sukoon, it means it's made invisible. وَالشَّمْسِ وَضُحَاهَا وَالْقَمَرِ إِذَا تَلَاهَا. So this has to be pronounced because it's followed by a moon letter qaf, one of the moon letters, and it has a sukoon on top of it. Let's continue. Now, is this a sun letter, noon, or a moon letter?
Sun letter.
Very good. How do you know? There's two hints.
Because of the shadda.
Yes. And What is on the lam? Is there sukun on the lam?
No, no sukun on the.
It means we are not going to pronounce the lam. All right,
Yeah.
let's see.
وَالنَّهَارِ إِذَا جَلَّاهَا.
All right, so he didn't say wal nahari. He said wan nahari idha jallaha. Okay, how about the next one? This one is a bit tricky.
Again, sun letter.
This one is tricky. Why is it tricky?
Because no alif, no lam, with sukun.
Okay, let's go back here. So according to this chart, lam is a moon letter, right? All right.
Yes.
Letter.
Okay. But something happened here. It's kind of funny. What is the lam? Alif lam.
Brother, lam is not a moon letter. Lam is a sun letter.
Yeah, that's what we said.
Yeah.
It's a sun letter. But what happened? Where is the alif lam? Normally you should have alif lam and then lam, right?
Yes.
Oh, it's merged because it's two lam. Wal-layli and the night. Because night in Arabic is layl, right? Night in Arabic is layl. But the night is al-layl. So there should be two lam, not one. Yes, so one of them has been merged because they are two similar letters. Okay, right, it's fine. So this is a sun pronunciation. We don't pronounce the other lam normally.
وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا يَغْشَاهَا.
It has been merged. Okay, it has been merged. All right, let's have a look. Next, this one. Any brother? Maybe his brother Sultan or brother Yusuf. You tell me which letter it is and why do you know that? It's a sun letter, correct?
Yeah. With shadda.
How do we know? Yes, very good.
Without school.
Very nice, exactly. So we are going to make this lam disappear when we read it, right? Very nice.
وَالسَّمَاءِ وَمَا بَنَاهَا.
All right, so the last one is this one. This is alif with hamza. Is alif with hamza a sun or moon letter?
It is a moon letter. Alif is moon letter.
Is moon letter, right? Okay. Here, right? Okay.
Yeah, if it's moon.
Very good. So down there we go. We go back. So it means we need to pronounce the lam, right? Very good, brother.
Yes. Alhamdulillah.
وَالْأَرْضِ وَمَا طَحَاهَا.
Good. And also, we notice that there is a sukun on top of the lam, right? Which gives us a hint that this lam must be pronounced since there is a sukun on it. All right. Now then, that's it because there is no more alif lam. Okay, so continuing here, inshallah, we're almost done. So you know how to recite with L now, huh? I think Sister Nida wanted to know how to do this, especially when we talked about Surah At-Teen. Wat-Teeni wa-Zaytun. Both of them are sun letters. At-Teen wa-Zaytun. The figs and the olives. Ta, za are sun letters. Wat-Teeni wa-Zaytun. So we don't pronounce the lam in those two words, right? Okay, practice for Hamzat Qata. How to say this? Is a Hamzat Qata here? So Hamzat Qata is splitting, it doesn't merge. Yes. Amma yatasa'alun. Yatasa'alun. I'm pronouncing it very obviously, dividing every segment of this word. I'm not connecting anything here. And I said to you, Hamzat Wasl happens in the beginning of a word. Hamzat Qata can happen in the middle of a word or at the end. All right. عن النبأ العظيم. Yeah. So look at what we have here. We have Hamzat Qata and Hamzat Wasl. An-naba il. From here, I'm going to jump until here. I'm not going to read this. 0. Anin naba il azim. The same here. Naba il. Anin, sorry, naba. So I'm skipping 2 letters here. Right? Anin naba. I go from one noon to the next noon because of Hamzat Wasl and the sun letter here. Anin naba. Maybe this was not very clear. Maybe I need to clarify. Sorry. Yeah. Here for an-naba. Yeah. So we have, this is a Hamzat Wasl, so we don't read it, 0. And this is a sun letter, so this lam is also omitted. So we go from this noon directly to the next noon. Okay. Anin naba'il azim. This is a sun moon letter, so we need to pronounce it. You see sukun here, but this is 0. Okay, so you see, it's not mathematics, but it's just a question of habit. When you read, there are things which you connect and things which you split. Right. Who wants to recite this one? Should they ask, maybe call the names? Yes, let's start back with Sister Farzana and I'll go down the list. Go ahead, Sister Farzana.
You can. يوم ينفخ في السور فتأتون أفواجا.
Very good, sister. So this one is ikhfa, right? We're hiding this. يوم ينفخ في السور. فتأتون أفواجا. This is confirmed Hamza. This is confirmed Hamza. Hamza qata. Right? This is not the linking Hamza like this one. فتأتون أفواجا. Very good. MashaAllah. Good job, sister. Jazakallah khair. Okay. This is Surah Al-Buruj, I think. Let's see, Sister Alia. Do you want to try? Alia, are you here? Want to try? Or maybe I'll go to Brother Sultan.
Yes, brother.
You want to read it? Yeah.
على ما يفعلون مؤمنين شهود.
Okay, good, brothers, mashallah. So we have only one Hamza here, Hamzatul Wasl. بالمؤمنين شهود. This one is easy. Jazakallah khair, brother. Jazakallah khair. All right, we continue. Yeah, my little cat is making noises. So. Okay, so look at this. We have 2 Hamzas in a sequence. Who can read it for us? Let's go to Ariba. Ariba, are you there?
Yes.
Have a look.
Yes.
I'm going to give you all the Hamza here. Yes.
أنشأتم شجرة ما نحن منشئون.
Very good. Jazakallah khair. Good job, Ariba. MashaAllah. Antum. So here we have 2 sequences of Hamza, right? أنتم أنشأتم شجرتها أم نحن المنشئون. Okay, very good. The only Hamza to wasl, the linking Hamza is here. نحن. So this lam must be recited. Okay. Let's go to Arush. Arush, are you here? You want to try?
Yes.
All right, let's try. I will help you, inshallah. ولو
جعلناه قرآنا جميعا وقالوا لولا فصلت آياته.
Yes, there's a lot of noise. Did you finish?
I think brother today's last day, that's why.
Yes, it is. Okay, that's good. Let me.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Let me just show you something. This one is a bit tricky because you see this very special thing here. All right. وَلَوْ جَعَلْنَاهُ قُرْآنًا أَعْجَمِيًّا لَقَالُوا لَوْلَا فُصِّلَتْ آيَاتُهُ. Now, I stop here on purpose because I want to show you how to read this, okay? Now, this word has already been mentioned here once. Ajami means using a foreign language, not Arabic. Ajami means with a language that is not familiar or foreign. But here it has two hamza, and the second hamza is a rounded hamza. Oh, okay, how to read it? Well, let me take you somewhere else. Let me take you to the Quran website, and I can explain to you how to recite, inshallah. Okay, let me find, where is it? Yeah, it's here. So you see, A'jami, right? Now this word, initially it was A'jami, but I told you before, this first hamza is the hamza of questioning, hamzatul istifham. Is it foreign? Right? Here. All right. So when you recite this in the Quran, you are going to make this first obvious and the second linked. You are going to link the first to the second. You don't say, you're not going to make them obvious both. You don't say a'jami. You say a'jami. Okay? So it's one of the few instances in the Quran where the recitation is a bit different. So you don't say but you say so you connect the first to the second without cutting. All right, so let me probably give you the listening how to recite it.
وَلَوْ جَعَلْنَاهُ قُرْآنًا أَعْجَمِيًّا لَقَالُوا لَوْلَا فُصِّلَتْ آيَاتُهُ أَأَعْجَمِيٌّ وَعَرَبِيٌّ قُلْ هُوَ لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا هُدًى وَشِفَاءٌ وَالَّذِينَ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ فِي آذَانِهِمْ وَقْرٌ وَهُوَ عَلَيْهِمْ عَمًى أولئك ينادون من مكان بعيد.
Okay, so what we call this hamza, the second hamza is hamza tasheel, to facilitate. So we are not going to make it confirmed like the first. We don't say we say ajami. Okay, I don't want to delay you too much. I just have a few slides to show you, inshallah, and then we will call it a day. Because it's getting late already, I realize I'm going really past my time. I'm sorry about that. So do you have any questions before I tell you what we're going to do next, inshallah? Any questions about these rules?
No.
So we had two rules. We have rule of Hamzat Wasl and Hamzat Qatta, and then we had the rules of Huruf al-Shamsiyya and Huruf al-Qamariyya, right? And these are connected rules in the Quran. So for your homework, you can practice Surah An-Naba عما يتساءلون عن النبأ العظيم. So it has lots of Hamzat Wasl and Hamzat Qat'a. Okay, it's very good for this exercise. And as usual, please send it to me on WhatsApp and on Signal. Inshallah, I will reply to you. Now, let's do our Quranic quiz. It's easy to do. If you know the answer, you can reply. Please just reply by raising your hands. What are the other names of the Quran according to the Quran itself? These names given to the Quran are mentioned in the Quran. All right, Brother Sultan is the first to raise his hand. Let's see if others know before I ask Brother Sultan. Any others know the answer? Okay, Brother Sultan, you go ahead. Tell us.
Al-Huda, Al-Furqan, Al-Kitab.
Very good, brother. Very good. MashaAllah. So there are some scholars who have actually found as many as 50 names for the Quran, but the most frequent ones, the most attested, are the majority of them, Brother Sultan said them. Jazakallah khair, Brother Sultan. So the first is Al-Quran. Okay. So Al-Quran is mentioned in the Quran. The word Al-Quran is mentioned, right? And then we have Al-Furqan. There is a chapter called Al-Furqan, the criterion. Right? And Al-Kitab, ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين, Surah Al-Baqarah, ayah number 2. And then we have Al-Dhikr. Al-Dhikr. Okay, so you can actually have more, like Brother Sultan said, mashallah, but I'll just show you a few that here. For instance, Al-Dhikr, the reminder, إِنَّا نَحْنُ نَزَّلْنَا الذِّكْرَ وَإِنَّا لَهُ لَحَافِظُونَ. Al-Dhikr. We had Al-Kitab, the book. And we have Al-Furqan, the criterion. This whole chapter is called Al-Furqan, to distinguish between right and falsehood, right? Criterion. And that's all I have. Okay. Jazakumullah khair. I'm going to end today's session just by practicing with you Surah An-Naba, maybe the 13th first ayat. Right. I'll just do it once, slowly, and you can repeat after me. Don't forget to disable your microphone. Yes, we have a question.
Yeah, do we have to recite the whole surah?
No, you don't have to. Although it's okay. Well, if you want, you can. It's chapter 78. It's Juz Amma, the last juz of the Quran, actually. And if you want, you can recite all of it if you know it by heart. It will help you to practice your tajweed. But if you don't want and you can do some of it, you can go for like 15 first verses, 10 first verses. Up to you. I will leave it to you, inshallah. You choose how much you want to recite. Even first 10, first 15, first 20, right? Up to you. All right, so let's practice. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. عما يتساءلون عن النبأ العظيم الذي هم فيه مختلفون كلا سيعلمون ثم كلا سيعلمون ألم نجعل الأرض مهادا والجبال أوتادا وخلقناكم أزواجا وجعلنا نومكم سباتا وجعلنا الليل لباسا وجعلنا النهار معاشا وبنينا فوقكم سبعا شدادا وجعلنا سراجا وهاجا. Okay, so that's maybe all I have for the snippet on the screen. But you can recite more than that if you want, inshallah. Any questions, brothers and sisters? I don't really have anything left for you this week. Actually, this is the end of our Tajweed experience, mashallah. After 22 weeks. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
Allow us to recite the Quran with more tajweed and with perfection, inshallah. Jazakumullah khair for being here week after week and for your support. And inshallah, let's keep in touch. I will be always happy to exchange my little knowledge of tajweed with you. Remember, I'm also a student of tajweed, huh?
Really appreciate your effort.
Yeah.
Pleasure.
Much really.
We have just invited our chairperson, Sister Serena, to join us tonight.
Oh,
I give the
alhamdulillah.
floor to Sister Serena.
Okay, good.
I forgot to on my mic. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Dr. Salim and others. Yes, really appreciate very much for your kind support and teaching throughout the last 6 months. I'm sure many of us learn a lot, but I have to apologize because I had my another grandson for the last 2 months. So most of the time I do not join the class.
Congratulations, sister.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah.
Great news.
So actually very busy after he
this
joined
is,
our family.
It's very important, mashallah.
Alhamdulillah. Thank you so much. So actually, I'm not quite sure whether you know, in fact, in our group, we have participants not only from Hong Kong. You know, of course, Brother Sudan, he's a local Pakistani. We have Brother Yusufu, and we have all other sisters. And we also have participants from Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia. Yeah, and you are from Taiwan.
Oh, so, yeah, right. Alhamdulillah, this is amazing, right?
Alhamdulillah, yes, it's not easy.
It's quite a rich group.
Yes, so the pandemic is not really so bad. In fact, in
this sense,
yes, actually it helped people to actually come even closer together. Regardless of the distance. So may Allah Subhanahu wa Taala accept and reward all your great efforts.
Ameen,
and bless you and your family, and grants you all Jannat in the hereafter. Ameen. And I'm also want to pray to every one of the participants, and especially Brother Yusuf, because he is the one actually to initiate this program and discuss with you. Yes, and we would like to pray for every one of you for your patience and hard workings to learn from Dr. Salim. And I'm sure this is the first course.
Yeah, I'm sure too. I have a feeling that we will do more of this, inshallah, in the future.
Yes, inshallah. So really, thank you so much. So
you're most welcome.
Yeah. So
my
we
pleasure.
do not have much to you, but I would like to present a certificate of appreciation for your great
Jazakallah khair.
efforts. Yes.
Thank you so much, sister. I really appreciate your big help and your encouragement. And all the students in this group who have been really working hard and committing to this group, you know, and just it's such a pleasure to see that students are always committed to the Tajweed and to the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So may Allah reward us for our efforts. I mean.
Yes.
And hopefully in the future we can continue this experience in the different formats, or maybe we will see how we're going to change the way it's done.
Inshallah, inshallah. Okay, so Brother Yusuf, can I share the screen?
Yeah, I have given you the right to share the
Okay,
screen.
okay, let me share. So, brother, this is a certificate of appreciation to you.
So beautiful.
Inshallah, I will also send you by email.
I really appreciate it, mashallah.
Thank you so much.
Okay,
Thank you
I'm
so
going
much.
to frame it and I'm going to put it in my office, a beautiful shelf.
And may Allah really, please, may Allah bless you and all your family members. And I know your children also go to school.
Yes, they've started 2 days ago. 2-3 days ago, they've started and they're quite excited. My daughter, our daughter, she started year 1, so she feels.
Okay, every one of you, can we say thank yous to Dr. Salim together? If you don't mind. Thank you so much.
My pleasure, my pleasure. Jazakumullah khair, inshallah. Please continue to recite Quran and to incorporate what we have learned.
Inshallah.
And if you have questions, you know, I don't know how live the group will stay, but if you have questions, you can try to ask, you know, question, inshallah. Or I can share my email. Up to you, inshallah. You can contact me. I'm always happy to share. I have some references in PDF. I'll be happy to share. There are books that I did my lectures based on these books, electronic books that I can share with you, inshallah. All right, so please continue to recite the book of Allah and make dua for me.
Inshallah. Inshallah. You're always in our prayers.
Alhamdulillah. And thank you for our dearest brothers, brothers Yusuf and sister Zarina for organizing this. Jazakumullah khair. Okay, then I will let you all enjoy the rest of your evening and we'll call it a day, inshallah. So let's continue. Let's actually wrap up with the dua. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. Okay, see you inshallah very soon. Assalamu alaikum everyone.
Inshallah. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Take care.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.